Hi, a very common question is whether or not you should write down your goals. Now, you should, but the way you write them down is very, very important. What I used to do when I first started writing my goals is I'd get a scrap of paper out of my printer and I'd write down a list numbered 1 to 10 of all the things that I wanted to achieve. And then a few days later, the list would be thrown away, a couple might have been ticked off, but I never really managed to accomplish very much doing this. And it was because it felt as though it was a bit of a scrap of paper that you just throw away. It wasn't that important to me. So I bought a book, and this is what I advise that you do. This is my vision book. It's incredibly, incredibly special to me. Inside here, I'm not going to show you inside, nobody looks in here but me, but inside here there are pictures and there are writings of what I want to achieve. My goals are all inside here. And I bought this book, it's from Waterstones, and it only costs about £10, but it's a little bit more special than just a notebook. It's got a little seal on the front, and when you open it up, it opens very nicely. It's got kind of parchment paper inside, and also I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but it's metal on the outside as well, so it's a little more special there, and it's also leather bound. Now the edge of the binding, I don't know if you can see that, but that makes it feel to me like some special kind of parchment. And another thing I really like about this book, it's quite small. It fits in my pocket, which is great because I can take it places, but also it fits between my hands like this, and I often hold it there and meditate on it, so that's very important. Now I treat that book with a great deal of respect, and what I'd like to compare it to, if I may, many years ago when I was starting to look into different religions, a friend of mine lent me a copy of his Quran, and he was very, very specific when he lent that to me. He told me that I could never put it down face down, I was not allowed to put it on a bookshelf beneath any other books, and he gave me a set of rules that I had to obey if I was to use this book, and he had a tremendous amount of respect for that book, and I obviously had the respect for it too. I treat my vision book with the same amount of respect. I never put it down face down. I keep it with me, I treat it with respect, and I only ever use it in circumstances where I'm in the state of mind where I can connect to my higher self. So this is what I advise that you do. When you write down your goals in your vision book, be very, very serious. I want you to imagine that whatever you write in that book is absolutely going to be true. So you've got to make totally sure that you want it before you put it in there. If you put something in that book, you need to be very, very serious about that becoming a reality for you, because it will come true. Also, keep your book very close to you at night. I keep mine on my bedside table when I go to sleep, and every single night I read through the things that are in that book, and every single morning that's the first thing I do. When I wake up, the first thing I do is read through the affirmations that are in that book. In another video I'll talk about exactly how you construct the affirmations that you write in there, because that's very, very important. But this video is just about whether or not you should write things down, and you should, but you have to make sure that when you write them down they have that respect about them, and it's not just on a scrap of paper, because that is never going to work. That is sending entirely the wrong messages to your brain. Now, not only should you go through those every morning and every evening, but any time during the day that you think about it, pick up your book and have a good read through, and read them aloud. Another thing I'd like to say about the book, the affirmations that I've written in here, the very act of writing them down, from putting them from inside my mind to inside this physical book, is a physical manifestation in itself. By writing something down, you bring it out from the internal world into the objective world, so you bring something into reality. It's the same when you speak your affirmations aloud. Before you speak them, they're only inside, they're in your mind, they're in a subjective world. But when you voice them aloud, or when you write them in your book, then they become real. It enables them to move from an inner world to an outer world, and this encourages the process of the actual thing that you are focusing on manifesting to manifest to. So that's very important. So the most important tips you should take away from this video is, first of all, to invest in a book with which you can treat with a great deal of respect. Spend a bit of money on that. Don't just write on scraps of paper. Be very careful about what you write in there, and also make sure you read through the affirmations that you write in your book every single morning, every single evening, and again throughout the day whenever you walk past the book. So put it somewhere that you might walk past it regularly, pick it up and have a good read through them. Read them aloud, and each time you do, know that they are becoming real. So get yourself a book. If you haven't got one already, make sure you get yourself a book. Thank you.